Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and it's time for another unboxing. I feel like all I've been doing lately is unboxings. I really need to crank out some reviews, but life's been crazy. I haven't had much time, and when stuff arrives, I need to unbox it so I can start enjoying it. So selfishly, I just turn on the camera real quick and get it done, and that's what we're doing today. But I got to get this out of the box. This is a Something Obscene Company Jcape version 3.5. These are Riat built collaborations with Something Obscene Company. He uses Riat as an OEM. And a few months ago, I had one of these as a loaner, and I liked it so much I wanted to buy it. But the person who loaned it to me wouldn't sell it to me because they ended up really wanting to keep it. So luckily, right around that same time is when the pre-orders were open for this version, these variants of this knife. So I went ahead and I pre-ordered one, and I've been waiting ever since, and they just started shipping, and I got mine today, which is awesome because it said it would arrive on Friday, and today is Thursday, and it's here. So 3 cheers for the U.S. Postal Service getting something right, or doing well. Using the Skiff Drifter to unbox today. Freaking adore this knife so much. All right, so let's get in here. Yeah, it's Riat production. I believe he uses 20 CV, might be M390 on these. And I already know that I really like this knife because I had the same knife, just in a different colorway, different finishing as that loaner, and loved it. Oh man, there's stuff in here. Okay, so I'm gonna have some things to show you. There's also tissue paper. It's cool. Nice bright green color. Here's the knife. Let's see, and that's just my invoice. Okay, cool. So in the box we have first this really cool kind of PVC patch. This thing is pretty rad. His Felix from Something Obscene Company, his branding is like unmistakable in a cool way, from his pocket clips to his shirts and hats and all of his stuff. Even his logo, right? So this is, I don't know what this is supposed to be used for. Maybe just a soft place to set things down. Maybe you wrap it around a can like a koozie. I don't know. It's kind of that neoprene type material, but folds up. It rolls up, I should say. It's kind of like those bracelets as a kid. Let me see if it works like that. I don't know if you ever had those as a kid where you like, oh, gauntlet, Wonder Woman style. Anyway, there's this thing in here too. All right, and now we have the knife. So let's see what we're working with. I had forgotten which version I pre-ordered. There were a couple options. So there's thumb stud or flipper, and I know I got a flipper. And I had forgotten whether I got the satin blade or the PVD blade, because this run, they were all PVD coated frames, pocket clips, hardware, murdered out for the handle and everything. But then you could do a belt satin blade, like vertical belt satin from Riat, which I love, or you could get the blacked out blade, which would make the whole thing just murdered out. I love both, honestly. It was really hard for me to pick, but ultimately I went with the satin blade, and I had forgotten that until I got the email that it was shipping, and then I was like, that's the one I went for. I couldn't remember which blade finish I went with. So we've got a little ownership card here, Jcape 3.5, CPM 20 CV, satin and black, flipper, and then there were also some that were like half dressed and full dressed and stuff like that. I don't go for those kinds of things. I'm more of a plain Jane kind of guy. So there's my little ownership card. The knife comes in this box, set in there nicely. Just cut out foam for it, and here we go. So yeah, it's a PVD finish, but it's kind of like tumbled PVD, which is nice. I'm not as worried about scuffing up this frame. There's already some, it's pre-worn for me, so I don't have to worry about putting wear on it myself. But really cool looking finish. I dig that. Clip matches as well, and then all the hardware is satin to match the blade, which is satin, which I kind of like. It also, the one that I was loaned had a kind of a flamed titanium finish on the scales, and then the clip was like a bright gold, which looked awesome, but it was like polished and really vibrant. And so not only did it like fingerprint super easily, and I was worried it would scuff pretty easily, but it also just like really stuck out carrying the knife in pocket, because there's this gold lightning bolt sticking out of your pants. So I think this will probably be a more approachable version for someone like me who likes things to look a little more incognito, even though it's still lightning bolt shaped. But see how it opens. Yes. Yeah, I already know that I love the ergos, the profile, the feel of this knife. It fits my hand so well. It's kind of a funky looking handle shape when you look at all the kind of grooves and like steps that it's got going on. But man, it locks in really, really well. And this blade is so freaking impressive. This hollow grind. It's a compound grind. So you've got a hollow bevel here for the kind of main cutting edge, and it's real thin. And then you've got a flat grind up for the tip to kind of reinforce some tip strength. You've got this gnarly swedge. Just a really cool looking blade, in my opinion. I love the way this knife looks. Yeah, obviously titanium frame lock. We've got a hardened insert, which doubles as an over travel stop in there. It's super internally milled. One of the things that I remembered about the knife, but is now striking me again, is how light it feels compared to how big it looks. It just seems like it's going to be a weighty knife when you look at it in photos, but then in hand, it feels pretty freaking light. Oh, that action's great. Let me show you the sound by the mic. The acoustics of this knife. It's got a little bit of a sing to it. Nice and drop shutty. It's awesome. It definitely feels like it's on the larger end of the spectrum of knives that I would carry regularly, just because it's kind of a wide platform, I think. It's not overly huge in length or anything like that, but it feels pretty big. It's a larger knife. But yeah, the weight, how light it is, just makes it, I don't know, so much different from how I would expect it to be looking at it just in pictures or on video prior to experiencing one for myself. The edge that's on it, it's fantastic. It's marked on here, CPM 20CV, real tiny. You've got the Something Obscene Company branding logo, the fist there on both sides of the blade. And then other than that, it's pretty much sterile. The 20CV marking is tiny. I don't know if you'll be able to see that's right there where the blade meets the handle. And everything else is just sterile. Super milled out internally. Yeah, this thing is sweet. I'm so stoked that I finally have one for myself. I have wanted one of these for myself ever since reviewing it. And it's a pretty rare thing, frankly, for me to take a loaner of a knife. There are a lot of loaners that I really like, but to take it to the next step, and after spending enough time with a knife to have experienced it and review it, to then feel like I still need to have one for myself, like I didn't scratch the itch enough by just borrowing one, is not that common of a thing for me. Oftentimes, even if I love a knife when I'm borrowing it, it's like, but now I've experienced it, so I won't really feel like I'm missing out if I don't have one for myself. That was not the case here. I couldn't wait to get one of these for myself, and so the fact that it's here now, it is awesome. I'm really, really pumped. So, anyway, I guess that's that. This is the Something Obscene Company Jcape 3.5, and I'm pumped to have it. I'm really, really excited that this is now mine. I can carry it, I can use it, and it is part of my personal collection. And yeah, these are sweet. I don't know if there's going to be more from this run going to retailers, knowing Something Obscene Company. I'd assume there will be. I know most of them are probably for pre-orders and stuff, but usually when he has knives come out, some of them trickle out to retailers and stuff too. So if you're on the lookout for one of these, the timing might be right now, because when they're gone, they're usually kind of gone. I don't see them pop up all that often, and when they do, they're usually more than they were at original retail. So if you're interested in one of these, you might need to strike while the iron is hot right now, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, it's here. It's out of the box. I'm pumped. Sweet. Everything's cool. And I guess that's it for this unboxing. So thanks for checking it out. We'll see you on the next one.